Breaking news. Philippines surges past Thailand in global wealth rankings. This is a moment that many Filipinos have long dreamed of, and now, it's finally here. The morning headline blares across the nation. News anchors beam with pride as iconic jeepneys rumble through the heart of Manila, carrying workers and students who are now part of a country on the rise. In Cebu, markets buzz with excitement, and children laugh and play in the shadow of gleaming new skyscrapers. The streets are alive with energy, hope, and a sense of possibility that feels almost electric. Talk show hosts passionately debate what this milestone means for every Filipino. In small barangays and bustling cities alike, people are glued to their phones and televisions, eager for every update and analysis. Social media is on fire. Hashtags like Tram, Pinoy Pride, and New Asian Tiger are trending nationwide. Street vendors, taxi drivers, and even students are caught up in animated conversations about how the country is changing and what the future might hold. A sense of hope and pride fills the air. For decades, the Philippines watched as neighbors like Thailand and Malaysia raced ahead. Now, at last, the nation is no longer just catching up, it's setting the pace for others to follow. The Philippines is leading the pack, rewriting its story before the world's eyes. This new chapter is not just about numbers or rankings. It's about millions of dreams, years of hard work, and the collective push for a brighter, more prosperous tomorrow. The Philippines is stepping boldly into the global economic spotlight, ready to show the world what it can achieve. The journey is far from over, but today, the nation stands tall, united, optimistic, and determined to shape its own destiny. The news is not just hype, it's backed by hard data. Every headline you see about the Philippine economy is rooted in real numbers, not just speculation or optimism. Behind every report, there are teams of analysts and economists poring over figures, ensuring that what reaches the public is accurate and meaningful. The World Bank's latest report confirms it. The Philippines now ranks above Thailand in gross national income per capita. This is a significant milestone, as the World Bank is one of the most respected authorities on global economic data, and their findings carry weight across the international community. In 2024, the Philippines' GNI per capita hit $4,370, while Thailand's reached $4,210. This difference, though it may seem modest, represents a major shift in the region's economic landscape and signals a new era for the country. It is the first time in modern history that the Philippines has pulled ahead. For decades, Thailand was seen as the benchmark for economic progress in Southeast Asia, but now, the tables have turned, and the Philippines is setting a new standard. This achievement is more than a statistic. It means that average Filipinos, from Luzon to Mindanao, are sharing in the nation's growing prosperity. More families are able to send their children to school, put food on the table, and dream bigger for the future. The benefits of economic growth are reaching homes and communities across the archipelago. The jump in rankings places the Philippines among Southeast Asia's brightest economies, a club once dominated by Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. Now the Philippines is being recognized as a rising star, attracting attention from investors and policymakers throughout the region. The World Bank's charts show the steady rise. Just 10 years ago, Thailand's GNI per capita was nearly $1,000 higher than the Philippines. The gap seemed insurmountable, but through consistent growth and determination, the Philippines has not only closed the gap, but surpassed it. Today the tables have turned. The country now sits comfortably in the upper middle income bracket, a stepping stone to even greater heights. This new status opens doors to more opportunities, from international partnerships to improved living standards for millions. This progress did not happen overnight. It is the result of millions of Filipinos working at home and abroad, investments in new industries, and a relentless drive for a better life. Every success story, every new business, and every hard-working individual has contributed to this national achievement, proving that with unity and perseverance, remarkable progress is possible. All these rankings in economic terms can get really confusing, especially when you hear them tossed around in the news or see them in reports. It's easy to feel lost when experts talk about GDP, GNI, and other financial indicators, as if everyone should already know what they mean. So, what's the actual difference between GNI and GDP, and why does it matter for ordinary people? Let's break it down in a way that's easy to understand, so you can see why these numbers are more than just statistics. They actually affect real lives. GDP, or gross domestic product, is a measure of the total value of all goods and services produced within the Philippines' borders in a single year. It's like taking a snapshot of everything the country makes, from the bustling factories to the busy call centers and the rice fields in the countryside. Imagine adding up every bag of rice harvested, every car assembled, every service provided by Filipino workers inside the country. GDP is the sum of all that economic activity happening within the Philippines. GNI, or gross national income, takes things a step further by looking beyond the country's borders. GNI starts with the GDP, but then it adds the income that Filipinos earn while working abroad, like nurses in the Middle East or engineers in the US, and subtracts the money that foreigners make while working in the Philippines. In simple terms, GNI counts all the money that actually ends up in Filipino pockets, no matter where in the world it's earned. It's a more complete picture of the nation's true income, especially for families who rely on relatives working overseas. This is crucial for the Philippines, because millions of Filipinos work overseas and regularly send money back home to support their families. These remittances are a lifeline for many households and play a huge role in the country's economy. The money sent by overseas Filipino workers isn't counted in GDP, but it's a massive part of GNI. In fact, these earnings help families pay for education, healthcare, and even start small businesses. That's why, for Filipinos, GNI is often the more important number. It truly reflects the nation's earning power and the real financial well-being of Filipino families, both at home and abroad. So, when you hear that the Philippines has overtaken Thailand in GNI, it means Filipino families are seeing real gains, not just within the country, but all over the world. It's a sign that the hard work of Filipinos, wherever they are, is making a difference for their loved ones, and for the nation as a whole. Ask almost any Filipino family, and you'll hear a familiar story. A parent, sibling, or cousin works in another country. They send money home every month. These are the overseas Filipino workers, OFWs, known as modern-day heroes for a reason. In 2025, OFWs sent home a record $39 billion in remittances. This money pays for food, children's education, new houses, and even small businesses. In rural towns, new schools and clinics bear plaques thanking OFW donations. In cities, malls, and banks bustle with families withdrawing remittance cash. The impact is massive. Remittances now make up nearly 10% of the country's GDP. They help millions escape poverty and build a better future. From Ilocos to Davao, every peso sent home lifts another family up. This steady flow of money is more than just funds, it is a lifeline. It keeps dreams alive and powers the local economy, one balikbayan box at a time. Why are remittances rising year after year? Well, several forces are at play. First, more Filipinos are finding jobs in high-paying countries such as the United States, Canada, and Japan. As the global economy bounces back, so do opportunities for skilled and semi-skilled workers. Exchange rates also matter. A stronger dollar means every remitted peso stretches farther at home. This encourages overseas Filipino workers to send even more, especially for big family needs like school enrollment or home repairs. Digital technology is making it easier and safer to send money. Apps and online banks mean families no longer wait in long lines or pay steep fees. Trust in these new services is growing fast, connecting loved ones instantly across continents. This money powers local businesses, feeds children, and fuels dreams. The rise in remittances is not just luck, it's the result of hard work and a global Filipino presence. But every success has its risks. Relying too much on overseas jobs leaves the Philippines vulnerable. If global economies slow down, or if countries restrict migrant workers, remittances could drop. This would hit many Filipino families hard. There's also a social cost. Separation from loved ones is never easy. Children grow up far from parents, and families often face emotional struggles. Policymakers know this and are working to create better job opportunities at home, so leaving isn't the only choice. However, this model brings unique opportunities. The rise of digital finance means more Filipinos can save, invest, and start businesses, even from afar. New labor laws and international agreements are protecting workers' rights, ensuring safety and fair wages for OFWs. The challenge is clear: keep sending workers abroad safely, while building a strong economy at home. With smart reforms, the Philippines can have the best of both worlds. The Philippines is not just exporting workers. At home, the IT BPO sector is booming. Call centers, tech support, and digital services employ over 1.5 million Filipinos. In 2025, the industry generated more than $35 billion in revenue, nearly rivaling remittances. Young, English-speaking workers are the backbone of this success. Global giants like Google, Microsoft, and JP Morgan run huge operations in Manila, Cebu, and Davao. These jobs pay well, offer career growth, and keep talent inside the country. Training centers and universities are adapting fast, teaching skills for the digital age. This helps more Filipinos land jobs in IT, finance, and creative industries. The ripple effect is real. New malls, condos, and restaurants rise wherever BPO hubs flourish. The IT BPO boom proves that the Philippines can compete globally, not just with labor, but with knowledge, technology, and innovation. Foreign investors are taking notice of the Philippines' momentum. The US, Japan, South Korea, and Europe are pouring billions into new projects. In 2025 alone, foreign direct investment reached $12.4 billion, up 15% from the previous year. Major infrastructure projects are underway. Japanese firms are building railway lines from Manila to Clark, while American companies invest in renewable energy and data centers. New airports, highways, and power plants are transforming how people travel and do business. These investments create jobs and boost confidence in the Philippine economy. The government is also making it easier for foreigners to own businesses and land, encouraging even more capital to flow in. With every new partnership, the Philippines steps closer to its dream of becoming a true economic powerhouse in Asia. What does the future hold for the Philippines? World Bank and HSBC forecasts are optimistic. By 2050, the Philippines could rank among the world's top 20 economies, with projected GDP growth between 5 and 6% each year. Urbanization, a young workforce, and digital innovation fuel this outlook. Challenges remain. Infrastructure gaps, poverty, and corruption still slow progress. The country must invest in better education, healthcare, and digital access. Smart government policies and strong institutions are more important than ever, but one thing stands out: the resilience of the Filipino people. Through typhoons, global crises, and setbacks, they keep moving forward, working, dreaming, and rising together. The world is watching as the Philippines builds its place in history. The journey is far from over. With courage, unity, and smart choices, the Philippines will not just keep up, it will lead. The next Asian tiger has arrived.